welcome back. We're going to be doing part 2 of this pop-up album, whatever we want to call it. So when I left you last week, we had all of our cards done, and we should have done all of this. We should have cut all the holes out. Now, what I did is I cut some matching fronts because I didn't want to leave mine just white. So it's very simple. You just lay a piece of your paper. Sorry, this should have my just take this off. I'll save this one for us to do. Lay your paper, just make sure that you've got it lined up within those creases and not too far on one side or the other. Grab a pencil, come around, and the reason I do this is that you can either cut it out your, whoops, it's alright, this will erase off so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then because I'm using the die cutting machine, I would just lay my die down and make sure I match it as close as possible. Okay, stick it down with a bit of the washi tape, which is what you saw me have on my die before. Make sure your washi tape's not too sticky so it doesn't pull the paper up. Now with this one, yeah, it looks a bit sad that we're going to cut those 2 mushrooms out, but if we keep this, we can always trim those mushrooms out and use them for the next stage. Right, so when we do that, we should have completed these sections here. And I've just pinned them together because when I told you in the last video, we need to know which is the bottom. So the bottom's got 1 fold, and the top's got 2 folds. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to apply this. Sorry, my husband's in the shed today and he's making a lot of noise, even though he's been told that I'm videoing. Oh, this is bright and purple, isn't it? I like this because it sticks well, dries quick, and it gives you just that little bit of slippiness to, if slippiness is a word, to just maneuver it a little bit so that you can get it down as close as possible. Now if you do get a bit on the front, it really doesn't matter, it wipes off. I've just got a dry baby wipe here. You can go over it, okay? And there we go. If you did get any pencil marks or anything, just use an eraser. Very simple to do. Okay, so that's where we are. So we'll do a couple more of those. So let's do this next one. And you can see I pinned it because, again, we've got to make sure that we've got this the right way up. Because otherwise you'll have trees or birds flying upside down, butterflies flying the wrong way. So you've really got to make sure that you're doing it the right way. Okay. It's a bit messy. Clean that up. But even I'm making a mistake. Not checking that the 1 fold is the bottom. So you just need to slide this. Try again. It's a bit awkward when you're sitting because normally I would stand and sort of look over what I'm doing. Seems to have gone a bit wonky at the bottom here. And now it seems like it doesn't want to fit. See, the best of us make mistakes. So we can cover that up with some flowers or something. It doesn't have to be perfect. So while I'm talking about not being perfect, let's have a look at assembling our album. So as you know, we had this and we put them all in together. So this is where you should be up to with this. So let's pick one of the ones that we've glued down. And I think this one I like because it's got the same colours. So what we do is we start by assembling the bottom fold. Okay, so just run your glue stick or whatever it is you want to do. Okay, and you'll put it into that gap there where you've got that fold. We need to turn it over because obviously we want to see the front, we don't want to see the back. We're going to line it up. We're going to push this down so it adheres firmly. Now with this one, we want to put glue on the last one only. Okay? The last one only. And the reason for that is because the other one's going to be the top. So I'm going to swizzle it around because these are quite long to work with and show you. So when we lie this down flat, okay, we want to bring this back board, we want to fold that along there, and we want to fold that on there, and you should get a reasonably good fit. Okay, reasonably good fit. This is clear once it's dry, so I've not got any worries about it showing. Okay, I'll just turn it round again, and so now when we open it up, we've got the 3D, because you can see we've got the gap. We've created that gap there by putting that down. So now we've got the 3D. So we go through and we complete all of our pages in exactly the same way, matching up as far as you can with what we've done with this one, matching up with the pictures that you've got here. So you've got another 4 of those to do. Now the interesting bit comes when you start to decorate. So I did tell you last week, make sure you fussy cut some images. Now, I'm fortunate I have a brother's scan and cut machine, so I was able to just print these out on one sheet and then ask my brother's scan and cut to cut them, which it did. So I've got lots and lots of choices here. I've got butterflies, I've got some flowers, and then I've got some mushrooms. Okay, so I've got lots to choose. Now when we're decorating it, we want to look at placing things to show that 3D effect. So this I could place on the front. If I wanted to put another mushroom in, you can place this on the back. So we're going to go, so with this you just stick down, you just put the glue on there and you just stick that there. You can, if you want to, put it in between. If you've got a little something where you can create a little tab, you can actually put it just in between there. But it's got to be quite flat. It has to be quite flat. So that's nice because it gives it, this one's nice because it gives it some colour variation. So I might just put some glue on that bottom piece. just here. Doesn't matter that these are very small. And then I can just place it where I liked it, just popping out of the, just popping to the side of the frame. If I want to, I can put a butterfly. So because that's plain at the top, I'd probably choose to put a butterfly up there. I'm going to cover the butterfly. I'm going to just have it just flying off. Okay, I'll just tip it up. And it's really important, you can see with this one it is bending a little, but it's really important that you use a quality print on cardstock. Now I've got some flowers here that I could put on. I've got these are quite big, I'd need to cut them down, but obviously just showing you again, I could put something on there, or I could put something under there. Now you're not limited to what I've got here, you're only limited by your imagination. So depending on the theme that you're doing, you might want to choose something else. If you're doing a wedding album, for instance, you might want to stick on decorations pertaining to a wedding album. And so that's the way you go through it. I'd pick 2 or 3 elements. Make sure you at least have one behind and one in front. There's no harm in putting something on a bit of fishing line or something that would let it, if you stick it on, and then you can put it so it's just waving, sort of, you know, so it's got some movement towards it. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go through and we're going to add all of these elements. And that's going to be our next one. In this one, I found some flags. Obviously not in this one, but I found some flags that I thought I could use. So you can see again how just something so simple, because it matches the colours, something so simple as that could be used, even though it's got nothing to do with flags. I'm just looking for another element for you to use. See, even this, if it's too big, chop it down. Don't for instance cover the whole scene behind. This one actually ripped on the machine. Don't cover the scene behind, obviously, but yeah, with this one I'd definitely look at maybe putting something up here. You can also hang things if you want off wire, so it's just hanging down here. Again, using that this 1/2 inch that we have here to adhere it to. So you're only limited by your imagination on what you do. So that's what your homework is for this week. Quite simple. Go through, cover your front ones if you wish to. If you've already covered it out of cardstock, you don't have to worry about that. Adhere them all in. You saw how we did it. Okay, so just a reminder of that again. We want something with this one, and make sure that when you're doing it, that you're making sure that your folds are folding flat. Okay, so we've just put a page on there. We want to make sure that that is folding flat both ways. Make sure it's folding flat, so that we're quite simple when we do it, when we just lift it, that it's there and it's opening up. It is a difficult one for me to film this part because of the fact that we do have it's long, so I'm limited by how I can demonstrate it to you. Now the one that I just stuck on and it was a little bit wonky, I can either cut that out. Sorry, I'm showing you the wrong thing here. I can either cut that out here, which I probably will do, or I had a nice bit of that trellis here. See how effectively that hides it? You could do that. So simple. Matches the colours here of the butterfly that's already printed on that background. Matches the fairy with a green dress on. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to do that before we do anything else. So I'm just going to glue the area that I want it on. I'm not trying to glue it on the back of the flower, although there I might have to. I don't want it to bend up and rip off. Okay, and then that changes it again. You see, you've got that lovely floral now. It's just taken away from the oval or whatever shape you've used. You've got that, and then we can glue this down. So we can go across here, across the bottom. Sorry, out of shot again. Make sure then that it's face down as we're gluing it down. We're going to make sure that we're lining it up with the one that we have, pressing it down firmly. Okay, then we want to fold it over and we want to make sure only the first part, see we've got two folds, only that first one has glue on it. Okay. Fold that down, bring the picture towards it. Smooth it down. Okay. If there's anything out of line, just make sure you're getting all that done beforehand. And then when we lift it up, we've got that one that's being framed here. Because we've got mushrooms there, we could put a mushroom, a nice short mushroom here, and we could do that again inside or outside or inside. Same with a butterfly. We could choose a butterfly in the greens or the turquoise, and we could have that just hanging off there. It doesn't have to be all the way up. We can have it hanging down there. So you can still see the picture clearly when you're looking through and you've added these things, but you're not having to, you know, so you're not having to strain or anything. Or you can go for an entirely different colour and pop a red one in. We could chop it down just so that it fits in. You can have it hanging over a little bit if you want to, just for the support of it. Okay, you can put things along here. We've got, see, a floral here. You could put that in rather than a mushroom. You could have it peeping out as if it's back in the garden somewhere. So it really is just a case of playing. There's not really a way that I can teach you how to do this. You have to just visually look at it where you think that you can see something that needs a gap. This one needs to be trimmed down a little bit, but I'll just give you the idea here again. See, that picks it up. It's a different colour, merges in with all the other colours because it's from one kit. But you can see how just that having that butterfly. Make sure you want, so if that's there, then we may want to put this over here or down here. Lots of options. Then I've got another one where I'm not going to glue this one in, but I have a large piece. See, that's quite a large piece. It's quite... Now, what I can do with this piece is I could fussy cut about halfway down if I wanted to, and then I could use that piece and this piece. But if I had something, if I went right down into the corner of the page, you see how it really doesn't take that much room up. Your focal point should be in the middle somewhere. So it really doesn't. We could add to that. We could look at that page, and you might look, I'll just show you the pages that I've chosen. You might look and you might think, oh, that's really plain in that corner, or I want to add quite a few flowers to it, maybe behind it. So don't be afraid to look at your bigger pieces and see if there's something that will match in with what you're doing. I mean, that would look fabulous. Again, maybe a mushroom or a butterfly, because those are the themes that I'm sticking with. You know, it'll look fabulous once it's done. Now what you can do after that, you can go through, you can decorate if you want to. So you could put some little drops in there, as long as you keep it fairly flat. Maybe a tiny bit of glitter if you like. I use Nouveau drops, so they're always nice. You can use your stickles to get a bit of glitter onto here. You know, glossy accents is something that will give you just a little shimmer or a shine on something if you fancy that. Maybe one of your eggs if you wanted to make it a little bit shinier. So there's lots of different elements. Now, I want you to play with that. That's this week's task. Okay, putting this together, making sure it folds both ways. And when we've finished this, this is what we'll have. This is when we've finished it all. This is what we'll have. We'll have these folds. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. And we'll have the last one, which is 5. Once we've got that, this is going to add 1/2 inch to the bottom of here. Okay? And then we're going to cut this 1/2 inch longer. That's why I said to you have this long piece, because that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to leave that with you for your own work. I can just show you this piece. That's quite another big corner piece. But again, if you put it in there, it's really not taking a lot up. I could turn it around that way, and it's barely taking anything up, but it's just decorating it and bringing a little bit of colour into it. Now, the final week will be next week, where we're going to make the cover. And for that, you're going to need a fabric. Now, I think this one's only about 3 inches. I'll just check one of my get a ruler somewhere. This one's about 3 inches, and I think that that's going to be adequate. Now, obviously, choose something that's going to match in. Yeah, it's roughly 3 inches. So choose something that's going to match in with your colours. You want paper to create the front cover. I'll just grab the one again that I made originally. So you're going to need paper to cover the front cover. You're going to need paper to cover the back. If you want them matching, it's up to you. And the fabric is going to cover, you see, inside. And see, that's why and outside. That's why I like fabric. It's not going to rip and tear like hardwood. So you only need a little strip. You know, if you don't have fabric around, maybe mum, auntie, sister, somebody will sew somewhere. Somebody will be able to, you know, you're at work, ask somebody and see if you can get a piece. So this again is what it's going to look when it's finished. We're going to be putting some tops on this. How you decorate it is up to you. I'll be doing mine completely differently than the way I did this one. And then we will have it all with embellished, and you can put words on. So if you've got words that will match in, and you've got paper and words, you can go ahead and you can finish this section, because this section is just, you can see here, this is this here. Okay, so this is this section that we've been working on. You want something that's going to cover this, so either a full sheet from a piece, you know, from a A4 or letter or 12 by 12. And if you want to put a little pocket in, or you want to put a frame in, then you've got, you know, you've got, again, this is choices, but this hasn't got really that much on it. Remember, when it's closed, you're going to have this, if I can film it, see, you're going to have this much gap. So you're going to be able to put some flowers in there or different embellishments that just stick up a bit, like this butterfly. And so you don't have the worries of it all squashing and getting ruined. If you want to put something on to tie it, you can. I've not bothered. I think it sits fairly well, you know, it's not gaping open. So I hope that you've enjoyed that little run through today. Please take the time to go through fussy cut if you haven't already. You can see the benefits of the fussy cut. You can see how much it makes a difference to what you're doing. Look for images. If you're not a person who's purchased a digital kit of any type, look for images. Look for images in magazines, books, on Pinterest if you've got a printer and you can print them out. There's lots and lots of options. You can go to some craft shops if you're able to. They usually have packets of embellishments that you could use, and because they're designed mainly for cards, you'll find that they'll fit perfectly on here. There's lots. Again, you do have options for being able to find what you're looking for. Just a reminder that this one that I'm using at the moment, the kit, is from My Porch Prints on Etsy. It's called My Porch Prints, and the particular kit I'm using is called Fairy Woods. Okay, thanks for joining me this week. I'd love to be able to see your work. Next week, when I come back, we finish this off, I'm actually going to be giving away this one that I've already made. This one's going to be a giveaway, and that's going to be next week. So don't comment yet. You can comment if you like, by all means, but as far as a competition for winning this one, that will be next week, not this week. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been fairly simplistic. I hope it's been easy to understand. Do let me know if you're enjoying these series, because I certainly enjoy showing you what you can do. And with that, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Bye.